It is such a pleasure to be here. On behalf of the Shibulal Family Philanthropic Initiatives, it is a privilege for me to welcome His Highness the King of Mysore, respected Anitaji Karwal, who has been a beacon of transformation of Indian education, former Secretary of the Department of School Education and Literacy, Government of India, all the other dignitaries from the government, the civil society, and many of the other amazing people who are here. It is a privilege for me to welcome you all to this event. InvokED 3.0, wow, it's already 3.0. It was just not too long ago, it was 1.0, and here we are. But today I also wanted to open with including Shibu in this welcome, Mr. S.D. Shibulal, who has been the force behind a lot of this movement. Unfortunately, due to conflicting travel, he could not be here today, and he has put that responsibility on me to invite you all on his behalf and extend his gratitude for all of you making your time. But he's been kind enough to record a video, so would I request the AV team to just play his welcome on the video here.
Good morning, everyone. It's a great pleasure for me to be here speaking to all of you. Let me welcome all of you to the third edition of InvokED. It's an honor to have you join us today for this pivotal gathering. I have always believed in the transformative power of leadership in solving complex problems. It is this core idea that brings us together today at InvokED to explore and expand the horizons of education leadership as a lever for sustainable change in how Indian education system performs and delivers. Though I deeply regret not being there with you in person due to some unexpected circumstances, my thoughts and best wishes are with each of you as we embark on these important discussions. The essence of InvokED is to foster a space where we can engage in meaningful dialogues, share insights, and build connections that will empower us to enhance the quality of education in our public schools together as a collective. I would like to extend my gratitude and warm welcome to all our esteemed speakers, senior government officials, our partner organizations, members of the educational ecosystem who are present in this room today. Your contribution and commitment are invaluable to the success of this movement. As the dialogue commences, I encourage all of you to be authentic and open, to dive deep into the conversations and to create opportunities to collaborate towards the shared vision of education equity. Lastly, let me thank you once again for being here. I wish you all a very productive, meaningful and inspiring time at InvokED. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shibu. Now let me welcome you from my heart, and my heart is Shikshāgraha, because it is something where I have found a lot of inspiration, I have found a lot of energy, I have found a lot of purpose. A journey that started in 2016 and early 2017, and here we are all together, rolling into together. And discussion today is all focused on how do you move from becoming a mission to becoming a movement. I remember that day in early 2017 when Khushbu and I were in a school in peri-urban Bangalore. And we walked into the cabin of a school principal, and behind his chair was a poster which said, "Do one thing every day that scares you." I asked him, "Why do you have this poster behind you?" And he said that if I have to improve the lives of the children I'm responsible for, if I have to take the care of the community that's around me, if I have to ensure that these children grow up to be responsible citizens, I have to do things in my context as life evolves. I have to understand. I just can't follow some instructions and some procedures. And that's scary because I don't know whether should I do it, should I not do it. If I do it, what will happen? What will be the consequences? And doing new things every day is not necessarily a very comforting feeling, but I have to. So I come every day morning and I remind myself that I should look at the children, look at the families around, and do one thing that's right. And it might be scary, but it's okay. And I said, that's interesting. That's a very interesting fundamental principle of leadership, that leaders do things every day that scare them. But they don't get scared just because it scares them, but they do things right. And we started debating because the Shibulal family philanthropic initiatives wanted us to focus on building an institution called the National Institute for Leadership in Education. And we said, probably let's build a mission. That's how the whole discussion began. We have been through many pivots, and in my mind, these pivots are learning to so to say, embrace more and more lessons coming together over the last so many years. Each one in this room and many who could not make it today and who are outside this room have deeply connected in some way or the other to this central idea that leadership is so important. Leadership at the school level, leadership at the community level is so important if we have to make this massive transition. And the idea that, micro improvements or small changes can make a massive impact. And as we went along in the journey, we obviously found enormous amount of energy from Anita ji and the work that she was driving, and she will share more about that today. But I wanted to leave you with a thought as I was thinking as to how do I welcome you. And I said that in our mind, there was a phase when we were thinking, how do you grow a plant? Then we started thinking, how do you make a farm? And I think we're getting to a stage where we're thinking how to build a forest. And building a forest is not the same as building a farm. If you look at the logo of Shikshāgraha, it has got a soil and a seedling, right? And that was done very thoughtfully and very intentionally. And we had huge debates about what should that be. Because the whole idea was that it's our job to bring together all the actors in the ecosystem collectively to use all the best of their faculties, to bring in the best that they can think, and try to build about an ecosystem that thrives because of its own energy, rather than thriving because of some injection of energy from here and there. And so this idea of building a farm is what, in my mind, is akin to building a movement. And then we were started to think, saying, okay, why should we build this forest? What are we aiming for? And I have been a big fan of understanding and going back into history. And one of the things that one day struck me was our education system was so respected. There was a time when we were so respected for the way we bring up our children and the next generation and the seat of knowledge. And then what happened, that we suddenly have this narrative that we have to fix this. And I said, I think it's time. We are at a very interesting inflection point to build a movement saying that we can actually not only regain, but establish the respect of the Indian education system. So that's the central idea that we are starting to work with. It's about many things that need to happen. Programs need to happen, policies need to happen, we need to all come together. But the binding force of all of us together is that we want to be a highly respected education system, saying this is the way we bring up very responsible, deep values, very ethical, very, so to say, inspiring leaders across the country in a very thoughtful and collective way. So as you deliberate the proceedings today, I want to leave you with 3 words. 1, respect. We have the ability to build a highly respected environment for our children, for the families, for the community, for the future generation of leaders to come. This is not something that we should approach with the narrative of saying we have a problem that we need to fix. but we should approach it with the narrative of saying that what's the way to resurrect and build the respect of this entire ecosystem. Second, coming together. It is so inspiring to think about that room where we started with 2 people brainstorming how to do this, to be here with all of you, and there's so much of energy and so much of aspirations and inspiration that's all connecting, and we are so super excited. So the power of the collective. And I think the central idea that agency of the leaders who are actually, I have so many stories, I could keep doing this for hours before I've been, but I have limited time. One day again, Khushbu and I went into a school way back when we were in early days, and there was this interesting school principal named Kavita ma'am. And Kavita ma'am was running a school of 43 children, and these 43 children used to study across multiple grades, and she was managing. And she would walk 2 miles every day to get to the school and 2 miles to get back to her place. And I said, why do you do this every day? Because she did not have, the roads were not there and there was not proper connectivity, so she would walk. Summer, winter, rainy season, umbrella. I said, why do you do it? Because she was highly educated. She could have done anything. She could have been working in a school in a city, but she chose to work in that village. And she just simply said, if not me, then who? Right? I think that's a very profound mental state to be in, to believe that I'm responsible for these 43 children. I'll do my best to make it happen for them. And I think there are millions of such leaders in our ecosystem. And our job, and that has been the inspiration of InvokED, is to see whatever we can to build on their agency, strengthen their dignity, give them the choice, so that they can actually make everyday lives of our children better. Of course, we have to do the rest of it. We have to bring the technology of learning, we have to bring the systems of learning, but I think the fire, the flame is there in everyone, and we have to work towards stoking that flame, respecting that flame, and helping people realize their aspirations driven by that flame. So we are here together. Welcome to the movement. I hope you have a great day. And I hope that we can actually focus on doing this with 3 words, like I said: respect. How do we ensure that we do it together, the power of the collective? And how do we do it with the idea of agency and leveraging the flame that exists within our education leaders across the country?